everyone to join in on that. You really disappoint me. Now that's better. Good afternoon, Durban. And for those of you who said it's nice to see me here, I'm here every year. Just normally I'm in a dress, so I am here. It's really nice to see you, and it's nice to know we've got such a big crowd. We booked for 90, then we had to say increase it to 100, then 110. Eventually when we got to 130, we said to people, please don't bring anybody more, because we've got a lot of people. But seriously, it's great to see you all. It's always wonderful to see the old faces. We've got Barbara and Carol Lane, who just come all the way from Egypt, via Venice, via Zanzibar, via everything. So I'm really glad to see you, Barbara and Carol. I thought they'd be exhausted from their trip. And then I know all the rest of you have come via traffic and lots of things, so it's really nice to see you all. Thank you. I know you'll miss the show this year, and I apologize for that. But you know, currently the SABC, the employer, is having its financial problems, and the board asked me to cut the budget on the parties this year. They said it doesn't look good, we're being lavish and throwing entertainment, and when the employer is actually suffering a little bit. So in sympathy with the employer, not because we don't have the money, we do, we cut the entertainment, but we kept the lunches. And I'm hoping to convince them that next year we will still have the lunches, because they are speaking about having it every 2 years again. But you and I know that we enjoy seeing each other on an annual basis, and I will make my voice heard, but I'm a little man. So back to the pension fund. I think you're all aware by now that you do belong to one of the best pension funds in this country. We are sitting at 13 billion rand and staying strong, and the markets go up and the markets go down, but somehow we stick at that 13 billion rand. We achieved 10% till June this year. Our benchmark was 10%. Over the past 15 years, this fund has averaged 15.1% versus inflation of 5.5%. So we've always exceeded inflation, and we've always tried to give you increases in excess of inflation. So inflation has been 5.5% averaging for the last 10 years, but your pension increases have been 10% averaging over the last 10 years. So you're better off buying power than you were when you're on pension. And we will always strive, the Board of Trustees and the Chairman will always strive to make sure that it stays that way. But they have to be sensible, and that's why you've got a 5% increase this year. Inflation was 3.5%, the markets were down, and they have to make sure there's always money each year to give you those increases. So I'm sorry it wasn't the normal 10, but it certainly was better than a lot of other pension funds, and we are grateful for that. I know many of you are possibly worried about the retrenchments at the SABC, and I need to assure you that the retrenchments do not affect you as a member of the pension fund or you as a member of the medical aid, if you're worried about either of those things. When should the employer retrench people, they get out of the fund what they've put in. So we don't give them extra money. If the employer wants to give them extra money to encourage them to go, then the employer pays that. So your money as pensioners is ring-fenced, it stays there for you, it earns you your returns, and there's absolutely nothing for you to ever worry about. Once the money comes to the pension fund from the employer and from you, and you remember contributing, it belongs to the pension fund and to you as the member, and it never goes back to the employer. The employer can never take your money away. So please rest assured. The same with the medical aid. If we lose 1,000 or 2,000 members to the medical aid, then that's 1,000 or 2,000 less people that we are going to be paying benefits for. So your contributions pay for your own medical problems. So your medical aid is also very, very strong. It's very solvent. It has a 70% safety margin or reserve level. The minimum requirement is 15 in this country. So your medical aid is just as strong as the pension fund, and they're both going to stay that way as long as we have two very good boards of trustees, and certainly as long as I'm around. And I want to be a pensioner. I'm a member of that medical aid, so I will always also strive to make sure that everybody does what they're supposed to, and they will. You do know that the Financial Services Board, now called the Financial Services Control Authority, has control over pension funds in the country, and they also make sure that we all keep to the straight and narrow, and that employers do not try and raid the pension funds or the medical aids or anything of that nature. So I really have to assure you, your money is always safe. You're always going to get your pension. Your spouse will get your pension when you die. Nothing is changing in that respect. If you had any doubt about the governance of this pension fund, I'm very proud to tell you that we received a Silver Quill Award last week. It's an Africa Silver Quill. We received the award for excellence. We got an extremely high score, and it was our third international award for this year. 3 weeks ago in London, and once again because of the budget, I didn't actually go personally to London to collect them. But in London we received 2 Stevie Awards. The principal officer of your fund was named as the International Maverick of the Year, whoever he might be, and received a trophy for that. And the fund also received a trophy for communication research. So that's 3 awards we've received this year, and we were also named as a nominee at the World Pensions Summit, and we were also a runner-up for a communication award there. So your fund continues to strive, continues to try and keep its standards up, and it continues to be recognized for excellence. So you can be assured your trustees, your investment managers, your investment committee, the staff of the pension fund, they're sitting over there, they arranged this party today. We all do our very best because we respect you, we respect your knowledge, and we respect all the years of service you gave, and you now belong to us, and we're always going to look after you. I assume that's a big thank you to Joanne, because she really arranged today. She made sure you all got your invites. I know you all love Wayne very much, and I must tell you, if you don't know, Wayne was actually elected to be a trustee of the medical aid. So besides me being principal officer of the medical aid, we now have Wayne as a trustee as well. Please stand up, Wayne, for those who don't know. So this is the level of commitment that the people who deal with you have, and we will always strive for that. All right, I just want to end off by saying, go the extra mile. It's never crowded. Share your smile with the world, because it's a symbol of friendship and peace. And I must tell you, I've always smiled all my life, and it's done me well. I was an adopted child. I grew up not knowing who was my mother or who was my father. So I always smiled at everybody, because my parents told me they adopted me because they went to the orphanage and they had a choice of all these children. And apparently I had the biggest smile, so they chose me. And from the age of 3, when they told me that, I always decided I should smile, because then people would choose me. And then I started smiling, because anybody could be my mom or dad. Any one of you could be my mom or dad. But no, you're not, because my mom found me a few years ago, so that's all sorted now. But I'll still keep smiling, because you could still be related to me. Finally, in the end, I know we're all getting older. I'm getting older, you're getting older. I try to keep the grey away, but in the end, it's not the years in your life that matters. It's the life in your years. I wish you a Merry Christmas, a Merry, whatever you're celebrating, Happy Diwali to those who've just celebrated that. Whoever you believe in, I hope he's going to look after you this year, for the rest of the year, for next year, and forever. Have a great afternoon, a great lunch. Please come say hi. Please make sure you get included in the photographs. Warren Dix is doing photos for us today, saving us a lot of money as well. So thank you, Warren, and your dad, Mr. Dix.